You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
Good morning.
We're live.
We're
live.
There I am.
Whoa, there you are. Hi, how you doing this morning? How you doing?
I'm glad to see I'm not the only one running a little behind today. Hi,
What?
Sam.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel very loud.
You are loud.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm loud.
Is this the first time anyone's ever told you that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Christina Wagner, you're loud.
I'm loud.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good morning. Welcome, everyone. We're back in the saddle this week. Last week we had the inaugural Memorial Day ride, which was amazing, and I just want to thank Restless Heart for letting us use their video, which we're going to share more about that later on. They're actually going to be calling in and joining us from the road at 10:15, so you'll definitely want to catch that. But the ride was a success. It was incredible. It was quite moving, and I love that it was military focused from start to finish.
Mhm.
It was great.
Yeah, it was a really, really good day. So thanks to all of our sponsors, and go check out the website, vetsonmedia.com. Monday we will have all the sponsors and all of that posted as thank yous for them. So it was absolutely phenomenal. So everyone who attended, thank you so much.
So, and for those of you that don't know, that have just found us as No Limits Radio Show, we are a part of this great family, which is Vets on Media. And Vets on Media was created by two combat veterans who really wanted to bridge the gap between the civilian and the military community. Michelle and I are kind of that bridge. We bridge the gap.
Yeah, we bridged that gap.
We're the Gap Girls. Woohoo!
So please join us on Saturday. It's a lonely bridge right now. So anyway, please.
You can listen on Vets on Media, which maybe you are. You can also check out the video feed. Hi
everyone.
So you can check that out if you go to the No Limits Radio Show page. You can click on the little red box that has TV. There's also a video feed on Vets on Media. Just search the keyword No Limits Radio Show, so you can do it all within there.
How was your week?
My week was pretty good.
Oh, I've also been told the pictures from the ride are already up, so we're already on top of it. So the pictures up
Okay.
already.
Well, there
There
you
are
go.
some rides up.
Yes. So if you go to Facebook and look for the Vets on Media page, you can see all of those photos. We had 3 photographers there. One of the photographers has shared his photos. We've got 2 other. So all of the photos have not yet been posted.
But it's getting there.
So, and I really want to thank those photographers because they did volunteer their time. And that was the thing that was so unique and amazing about this event is the volunteers. We had so many volunteers, people that were volunteering and donating their time, their talent, their treasure. So,
And they volunteered with a 12-hour notice.
yes.
It was kind of our photographer was extremely ill and sent us a text and said, there's no way I can do this. So we went to Facebook and found 3 volunteers within less than 12 hours. So thank you guys very much.
Yes. You got to love what you can do in the power of social media. So we've got the WWW. This is where we talk about all the things these are our topics for the week. And some of these are some of the really big topics that you may have missed out on this past week while you were busy with life. So we're going to get you caught up on those. Some of them are just crazy random stories that we found out there. Some of them have some feel good to it. So it's all encompassing, the wild, the wonderful, and the weird. I think this first story kind of falls in the category of weird. Do you like M&Ms?
I like how you say kind of. Like you're not sure. I love M&Ms.
I do too.
All right. Well, I'm not a huge fan of M&Ms. Like
Okay.
Look.
Is there a type that you like? Like you just milk chocolate? Are you peanut fan?
I won't
pretzel
seek
one?
it. Here's the thing with me and chocolate. I don't usually, and particularly M&Ms, I won't seek them out. But if somebody puts them in front of me, I'm not gonna pass it up. But after hearing about this story, I might think twice. So this story comes from us,
Comes from us.
comes from somewhere, not here. Well, I know
So
it's not
next
here.
week I'll go back to putting together the stories for the WWW. Christina looks so organized, but
It's in France.
do you have your glasses
It's
on?
in France.
It's in France.
Okay, so it comes to us from France. Shut up. Okay, so French, yeah, right there at the top, French. Where does it come from?
I'm on it. I'm
Mexico?
on it, Michelle. I'm on it.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, so French beekeepers were recently shocked when their bees started producing thick blue and green honey. Apparently, the M&M's Mars processing plant had some waste that was stored in an area, and bees were actually getting into it, which their honey turned blue. So obviously they're not selling the honey. You can't purchase the honey. It's not usable, which is the thing that I find really interesting. It's not usable. They determined this is blue honey bad. Like at first I thought, oh, that's interesting
So why is it not usable?
because it's bad.
Does it say?
It just
I feel
says
like
that it's
I could almost see it as a novelty thing. Like, hey, these bees made strange honey. Do you want to try it? Like, I feel like it can't be that bad.
Right,
I
like
mean,
the 4th of July is coming up. I think that blue honey would be a big hit.
well, that's the thing though. When you look
it's like
at it,
blue frosting, right?
but the texture of it, like they have in this article, which we'll share in the No Limits on the No Limits radio show page. As you look at the texture of it, the blue honey is very thick, whereas honey
Might be great for cooking.
has a different texture. So I don't know if because of the blue additive, if that changed the chemical structure.
Ooh, look at you being all scientific.
Ooh.
Well, I want to know if
Watching Cosmos has paid off.
I want to know if I just
Oh, boy.
eat blue M&Ms, if my urine is going to come out blue.
I think you should try that.
I should try that?
Yeah, take a
Okay.
picture for everybody.
No, I'm not taking a picture of that.
Oh my god.
But it made me wonder if it changes the color of their honey. What is that doing inside of us? Which then made me go to, well, what are other additives and artificial things doing inside of me? Not that I'm gonna change anything because
You're just wondering.
I eat like crap.
I love M&Ms. It doesn't matter.
She doesn't care if her shit's blue.
Whatever.
She's eating M&Ms.
Whatever, man.
Oh,
I think it's interesting, though. I think it's interesting how an animal can change so much just by their diet, you know?
Well, speaking of animals,
Oh, animals.
thanks
I
for
like
that.
animals.
Thanks. So speaking of animals, there is a free pet adoption that's running all weekend.
Is that only in the valley?
This is in the Valley. This is
Okay.
for Maddie's Pet Adoption Days. So it's 12 shelters, rescue groups, and 40 locations across the Valley are waiving the adoption fees for cats and dogs. If my soon-to-be sister-in-law, Cheyenne, is listening to this, you are not allowed to go.
Now, see, I don't know that I agree with this.
Okay, why?
I think the concept of
Hold on.
what?
Hold on. Of all of the topics today, I didn't know that we were going to have controversy around a free pet adoption. Okay, go.
Right, because here's my issue with it. I mean, I understand the concept of, okay, these animals need a home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I understand, hey, let's get rid of the adoption fee so that they can be homed. However, if you cannot afford an adoption fee, meaning if it's not a Saturday and you're like, you know what, we need a dog, you know, the kids have wanted a dog, or, you know, mom's alone, she
Right.
needs a dog. If you don't consciously go out, and if you're not able to give them the money of $150 or whatever it is to make that animal part of your family, then I don't know that you should be going to get one because it's free.
The only thing I will say, though, is that they are free to qualified homes. So they still must be qualified to have a pet.
Have you ever gone to an adoption thing, Sam?
No, never.
Qualification is you got a pulse.
Hey.
I mean,
hey,
like,
you know?
I don't know that they're doing, and maybe they are. I mean, I don't know. Are they doing home, you know, checks and
I know
things
a
like
lot
that?
of them do, though. I know a lot of them do evaluations of the house, or they say how many dogs you have, and they play with them and all that
Well,
stuff as well.
considering that they're wanting to do this adoption over the weekend and that there are going to be they're hoping to adopt out 1,500 animals. I mean,
Yeah, they're not doing
logistically,
home checks.
I don't think they're doing home checks.
Yeah. So I kind of disagree with it. Sorry.
Well, I think that I see where you're coming from, and if it allows if there's an incentive, you know, let's say you want to buy a car. and a car dealership offers an incentive. Just because you go to purchase the car when they're doing this great like doorbuster sale, it doesn't mean that you couldn't afford the car. It's just added an incentive to it.
Yeah, but you still have to have the money to buy the car. Here, they're putting nothing down. So they're not, it's not like, oh, great. With a car, it's like, okay, normally it's $20,000, but they have an incentive today, so it's $18,000. You still have to have the credit or the loan or whatever to get the $18,000. I need nothing here. I just need to show up and say, oh, that's a cute dog. Let me take it home with me.
Isn't there a lot of free puppies and kitties out there already, though?
Well, sure there are, but I'm just saying this isn't established, this isn't someone on the side of the road giving away their backyard puppies. This is an established
well, so they ask questions about lifestyle and travel and how many pets are already in the home.
Yeah, because if I'm abusive to animals, I'm going to go up and say, so how many animals do you have? And I'm going to be, I have 50, but I'm going to say 1. Well, and what's your lifestyle? Well, I get high and drunk every night and set off firecrackers in the backyard. Are you going to tell them that?
No, of course they're not going to tell them that.
Okay, well, anyway. Okay, but hey, kudos. Good job.
If it gets 1,500 animals, here's the thing. Most people see this as a good thing. It's an interesting perspective. I think that we'll know after.
If you agree with me, you should call in at 602-399-7787. And if you think there's going to be 1,500 animals in horrible homes that are going to go back to a shelter because someone thought, oh, it's a free dog, let's go get this Great Dane, and then in a month when the Great Dane is chewing everything up and shitting all over their living room, it's going to end up at the pound. A kill shelter. So anyway.
Well, it'll be interesting to see.
So much for wonderful news.
Yeah, no kidding, Michelle.
That was going to be in my category of wonderful.
I guess I'll keep looking.
Thanks. I think what I find interesting is that when it comes to pets, free pet adoptions, for the majority of people, everyone except for Michelle, there's a lot of compassion. This is a good thing. Oh, this is incredible. 1,500 pets are going to go from shelters and to...
It at least gets people out to look at them. I guess that's what I hope for.
But what's interesting is that same compassion and that same humanity is not extended to people. Like, on a whole, there's not a lot of politics associated to pets.
Probably not, unless they're going to ask if you're a Democrat or Republican when you go get your free puppy.
Right. There's not. But when we talk about people, illegal immigrants, there's that same type of compassion isn't conveyed to people. Like, okay, let me just back up. So this past week, if you're not aware of it, scores and scores, hundreds, 400 illegal immigrants were dropped off in Arizona. Basically, they were caught in Texas, and the scores of undocumented immigrants from Central America have been released at Greyhound Lines, Inc. bus stations in Tucson and Phoenix. This isn't just happening here in Arizona. This is also, they're being bused to Maryland and New York.
Who dropped them off?
ICE, Texas.
Okay.
Texas.
What's ICE?
ICE.
Didn't you say ICE, Texas?
Texas, ICE. ICE officials.
ICE officials.
Yeah, ICE
Gotcha.
officials from Texas dropped them off here in Arizona. So apparently they were trying to cross the... Hold on. Okay, 400 migrants apprehended in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, Tucson, to be processed. So what they're expecting is that they're trying to connect them with family, either that maybe they know someone that's here in Arizona, and the idea was to get them closer to them, which kind of seems like helping with illegal trafficking. I mean, I think one could certainly say that. But here's what's going on. Children traveling without their families, including an overwhelming number younger than 12, are flooding across the southwest border in the latest test of the Obama administration. Homeland Security officials predict that 60,000 minors will cross the border this year, and that number will double next year. So here's the thing. Yes, James, I did say ICE. Immigration's Customs Enforcement. Thank you for that clarification. Okay, so here's my challenge. I just want to, and I don't want to, I know I'm going to come across like a bleeding heart liberal here.
Oh, she's taking the glasses off. It's getting serious now. Oh, man.
Okay, so we have a situation where in the Hispanic community, let me just back up. Back up. Okay. In no other community or family, I don't see that we see the same types of bonds, family bonds. I've watched this working in a landscape company where the majority of the staff are Hispanic. I see the bonds. I mean, it's unbelievable. It doesn't matter if it's a cousin, a brother, a sister-in-law. They will drop everything to go and help. So there's a tight-knit family. There's a tight bond. Mm-hmm. So what is the mindset? What's going on when a mother from Guatemala, from Central America, says, I'm going to send my child that's under 12 years old off into the unknown, which we know that oftentimes when they're crossing the border, murder, rape, toddlers to teens, I mean, there's no discrimination there. What is their world like that they've said, you know what, there's a better opportunity here. I'm going to send you off into the unknown. And I think that's the part where I understand that it's illegal. I completely get that. But the humanity and the compassion, that's where I struggle.
Okay, however, we have citizens of the United States who are also suffering, who are also struggling, and we can't even take care of them. So how can we take on more when we don't even have our own citizens in a decent state?
I agree, but how can we turn them? Okay, so right now we have a situation where Texas has taken 400 illegal immigrants and just dumped them.
Did they justify why they brought them here?
Because they didn't have room for them. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, said that it does not want to put children in detention centers and it does not want to split up the families. ICE releases those families with the conditions that they contact ICE for their next court date once they reach their destination in the country. So it's basically on the honor system, which...
That never works.
Right.
They already snuck in. That's honorable.
I don't know why.
Why didn't they just take the bus to Mexico? I don't understand why they didn't.
Mexico doesn't want them.
Nobody wants them here either at that point because they're illegal.
I said that it's adjusting the rate at which it drops people at the station. The families, when they're dropped at the station, they are told to contact someone and go there. The families are confused. They are scared. So, I mean, this is an issue. This is a situation where this administration, and by saying an administration, I know that suddenly I'm bringing politics into it, but this is a failed system. This doesn't work. You can't take a group of people and just drop them off in a city where it's 100 degrees. They have no food. You've got infants, diapers, formula. It's an absolute nightmare, and I don't know.
So what is our city doing? Anything? What are we doing?
Volunteers are stepping in. Obviously, it has become a situation where Greyhound is extending their bus schedules, their times of being open. They're asking volunteers that have phones, because a lot of these people are coming in the middle of the night, so they're saying, you know, if you've got a phone and you can go down to the Greyhound bus station and allow them to use your phone so that they can call their family members that are somewhere in the area. I mean, it's a logistical nightmare what they've created. And the thing that, you know, I marvel at is, what was Texas thinking? Why did Texas
decide, like you said, Phoenix, it was 108 yesterday.
Could you imagine having a situation in your backyard? Like, let's say you're looking in your backyard, and I'm not saying that people are in any way equated to trash, but let's say you're looking in your backyard and you're saying, I got a lot of junk in my backyard. I've got too much stuff in my backyard.
Totally just equated people to trash.
I'm not.
Totally.
All right, let's say
Can you think of a different example? That one was horrible. Let's just go get you the 1,500 dogs and put them in your backyard. Let's equate it all together.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's say I've got too many dogs in my backyard.
Okay, well,
Is that better?
Well, not really, but it's better than trash.
Is it better if it's cats?
This isn't working.
Cats
No.
are cuter?
This isn't working. Anyways, you got too much
shit.
stuff going on.
Could you think of something like you?
No. Nope.
You're expecting 5 people for a barbecue and 100 show up. How's that?
That's
Okay.
better.
There you go. Okay.
So what do you
So-
do? Say to your neighbor, I got 95 people, I'm just sending them over to your house? No, you don't.
Right.
You don't do that. I don't know if this was because of SB 1060. I don't quite understand what they were thinking.
So are these people just sleeping in the station?
Yeah. And on the street.
I kind of feel like I should go volunteer sometime today.
Casa Mariposa has been flooded with people needing a place to stay. I mean, this is a public health, this is a safety issue, this is a humanity issue, and I shared this on our page, and this was the thing that really surprised me, is that the comments immediately, and for all of you that are listening and able to comment in the virtual space of social media, but not pick up the phone and give us a call. I find that interesting. But the comments all were about, it's illegal, there's laws against this, what's wrong with these people?
Yeah, I don't understand how Texas can just do that.
Or is it Obama? I mean, is it
I think
the
everybody
administration?
likes to blame Obama.
Just blame Obama. Screw it. It's Obama's fault.
My backyard's a mess.
It's Obama's fault. Everything's Obama's fault.
My computer just froze up. It's Obama's fault.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's I don't know. I'm just flabbergasted that, like I said, one state can just bus all these people to another state and say, hey, I guess it's your problem now.
And if it was reversed, we'd probably get in trouble.
You
Oh,
want to
for
you want
sure.
to try it?
No.
We could get a bunch of cars and just caravan them back to Texas.
They're going
No,
to
you get one car and you just stuff them all.
So here's the plan. They're going to give an explanation next week.
They got to think about it. Why did we do that again?
Next week, because
Next
it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So
Yeah.
they're going to take a week to
They were
figure it out.
even flown. They didn't drive. They were flown here. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
Oh, I thought they were bused here.
They were flown.
And then
That's expensive.
left at the bus station.
It says 400 immigrants were released, but not unable to confirm if they all made it here. That means they could have jumped somewhere else and been like, well, you'll never know where I am. Let me just honor system and call you later. No, they're not going to call.
Wow, that's crazy.
And some of them were bused here, but their destination was on the other side of the country. So where was the logic in that? I mean,
I don't think there's any logic in this story at
No.
all.
It doesn't even make sense. Like, the more you
None
say
of
it, I'm
it.
like, are you sure this is a real article? And I looked it up just to see how many people were talking about this. No, it's true though. It seems so stupid that
what
why
I
would it
heard
happen?
what I heard there was
I knew you were gonna say this.
Christina doesn't know what she's talking about.
Let
let me go fact check
How
this.
many articles have you heard out there that are like, are you sure? And then it's the people who read The Onion and go, oh my gosh, it's real.
The Onion's
The
not
Onion's
real?
not real?
I know.
It took me a long time to know The Onion wasn't real.
Really?
I'll admit.
See? Okay, that's what I was saying.
But I'm not a big internet I'm not all over stuff. Like my kids are on YouTube and they're always these funny videos and lots of people find other news and whatever. So I'm
all about
not as
Reddit.
much into it as some people are.
I agree. Someone just texted me. I feel like Texas is dumping their problems on Arizona. I agree. They are just dumping their problem.
Well, let's
On
just
Arizona.
take them back.
And here's the thing. This problem is not that this in any way makes it okay, but this isn't just Texas's problem. This is the entire country's problem.
That's why it's
Because-
Obama's fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because we don't have secure borders. We don't have any. Is that 10 minutes or 10 seconds?
Yeah, 10. There it is.
We don't have any way of controlling who's coming through our borders. And that is the scary. When you look at security, that we can't secure our borders and know who's coming through, and then the process of people becoming legal immigrants, I think that process needs to be streamlined. I think it takes entirely too long. And I have a family member who is going through the legal steps, and it's been unbelievable to hear about the red tape, the bureaucracy, and what this person who is bringing a lot to the country, what they're dealing with. So
there's 400 more Mexicans in the city, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
what do you
maybe we should go volunteer.
I totally would volunteer.
All right. Can we do that tomorrow, though? I need a nap today.
We can totally do that tomorrow.
Okay, we'll do that tomorrow.
Aren't we already doing something together tomorrow?
Yes.
I think it was going to be beer. We'll just call it cervezas.
Oops. All right, next. What's next?
All right, so next I got to feel good.
Are we sure it's a feel good?
Yeah, because I might knock you right off your pedestal.
Michelle may just be like, no.
Might be one of those days. Feel good? What the hell are you talking about?
I feel a little scared now.
I didn't wear my boots today. It's okay.
You know what, Michelle? You don't have to wear your boots to scare people, okay? Michelle, okay, so I got to share with everyone. Last Thursday.
Look at this face. It's friendly.
Michelle has a way of demanding attention and directing people in a very militant way. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
No one's ever told me this.
People, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. No one's ever told me that I'm.
You can be very intimidating.
You can be very intimidating.
Wow.
I think there's a picture somewhere at the ride where she's directing people, and you see
that scowl. Move.
She's pointing, and the look on my face is fear.
And James is like, "Yep, I've seen this face before."
So last Thursday night, Michelle and I were models, creatures.
You were models.
Okay,
great.
models. And Michelle rocked the runway. I gotta tell you, like, she has a fierce walk.
All you guys did.
Which doesn't surprise me that she has a fierce walk because she's very fierce. So we're all the models are lined up, and Michelle wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to have a wardrobe malfunction.
Right.
And she needed me to help by hitting the ground, get down low, and look up.
I forgot about this.
So I'm standing there, and I've got this huge dress on.
Wait, with that headpiece on.
I have this headpiece, this gigantic headpiece.
It's like 3 feet wide, this thing.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's heavy, it's big. I'm trying to balance it so that it doesn't fall off of me or take somebody out in the process. And as we're all lined up, all of our headpieces are connecting into each other, and we're getting stuck in each other. And Michelle goes, "Christina, get down." I mean, I hit the ground like somebody had just said there's a bomb.
She did. She's instantly like, boom,
I'm down. On the ground.
Yeah.
And then one of the other models was like, "Damn, she said to get down," and she just dropped.
She really did. It was pretty funny.
And I was like,
"Oh my gosh!"
When Michelle says, "Go," you just go.
She's already gone. Yeah.
Maybe. Hold on a second. Maybe. Okay. So when the ICE officials brought everyone here, maybe they have people like you because
Go.
Just saying "go"
And they just leave.
Yeah, because nobody questioned it when they brought them here. Like, nobody was going through the manual. Okay, we got 400 illegal immigrants. We're going to take them to Arizona. We're just going to drop them off. What's on the next page? Why we're doing this? What we're supposed to do that? Oh, it's blank. Okay, they said to go. We're going.
Yeah. All right. What can I say? So, next. Let's go back to where we were.
All right, so a Valley woman who helps people for a living is on a mission to shelter the homeless herself by building and giving away mobile shacks. So by day, she is, I believe, a nurse. By night, she is trying to create a safe place for these people to sleep. They're called Shannon's Shacks. You can search it. They've got a website.
Better check to see if it's legit.
Go ahead, check. She wants those that are homeless in the valley to know that they are not alone. That's why Palermo started building the shacks. She's using donated items. They are on wheels, so they can move from place to place. The first one that she did the very last one that she did was for a veteran. His name is Kirk. He has a dog. Kirk Ellsworth fell on hard times when he came to the valley. Eventually, he ended up living on the streets. He was looking for a safe place to sleep. She asked him, would you like to have a little shack on wheels? His response was, basically, sure. He didn't know that she was actually going to come back and bring anything, but she did. And he said it's actually kind of nice. He has a place that he can change his clothes, clean up, sleep, feel safe, and it moves from place to place. It's on wheels. So I thought that was...
And what does she make these out of? I know you said that they're...
Pallets.
Yep.
She makes them out of pallets.
If you go to their website, if you just Google Shannon's Shacks, which we can share the website link on our Facebook page, you can actually see the process. And if you'd like to volunteer and help to make these, you can also do that. I'm sure that she'd also...
How big would you say these shacks are?
Well, I'm looking at a picture. There's a gentleman standing by it, and it's almost as tall as he is. So it looks like they're maybe... 5 to 6 feet tall,
right.
But they only look like they're about 4 by 4 as far as like the width and that. And it's got like a half door on it, so you got to kind of crawl in.
Right.
But it also looks like she has one of those little, have you seen the little makeshift coolers where you have, a cooler and you put a little fan on it and whatever, so they have that's in there. So they're actually, they're kind of interesting, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it's...
I wonder, would they ever get in trouble, like, for those people to have them on the streets? When you get in trouble, like, in a parking lot, where do you put
it? And is it...
I mean, it's a great idea. I feel like I'd get in trouble. They get in trouble for laying on the ground some places, right? So to have a little home, and you got to push that around, whew.
And do they end up just in, like, a park? And then is it something that the city...
Yeah.
When I first heard of this, I thought my first reaction was, that's really interesting. That at least provides them a safe place, because I can't even imagine what it is like to sleep on the streets. So at least it provides them some sense of security. But what does that look like? And when they just leave it there, who has to deal with that?
Well, there's a lot of, maybe there's some type of, maybe the city can get involved with some type of land
like
that is not being used. Yeah, maybe something like that. I mean, if you go downtown, there's quite a few areas that aren't the nicest areas. Let's be honest. They're not, let's be honest. They're not anything great, but they're not being used. I mean, it's just kind of like
dead space.
So maybe it's something the city can get involved in, and these people can, put them there.
Right.
And have it. So that would be nice. So you Phoenix officials that are listening out there, step up and do something so Shannon's Shacks can grow. I think it's a wonderful story. I agree with you, Christina.
Ooh, really?
Yep. Look at that.
Ooh,
that's one.
All right, we have one for the wonderful.
Yeah.
We are going to go to a break. And when we get back, yes, we're going to go to a break?
Yes.
Okay.
And when we get back, we should have Restless Heart calling, correct?
I guess we're not going to talk about guns.
Well, we can talk about guns after we talk with Restless Heart.
All right. We'll talk about guns after. This is No Limits Radio. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
And Sam is on the board.
Breaking one man. How about that bandage? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment
or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce. I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you or someone you know suffering from eczema, diabetes, or vitamin deficiencies? Then I can share with you something to help remedy that with Health and Wellness. It can be a business plan too, which is a great opportunity to meet and interact with all types of people who care about changing lives. So when you are ready to make a difference, call Jamie at 602-295-9969. That's 602-295-9969.
Hey everyone, it's Adam from Vets On. Are you or someone you know looking for employment? Then look no further than iVetX. iVetX is placing veterans with the right hiring companies. Join their mission in putting veterans in inspiring careers with ensured success. Access their national pipeline of military talent for companies. All veterans are pre-screened for 55 soft skill sets, 800 clarification types, education, experience, salary range, and so much more. iVetX can help you find the perfect job to veteran match. Your skills are based on what's needed for success in that job. If you're a hiring company or a veteran looking for your next career, then get started today and go to www.ivetx.com. iVetX, bridging the employer-veteran gap by putting Americans' veterans to work today.
You're listening to the No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're here. How many of you have gone on a crazy diet? You've got the no-carb diet, you've got the low-carb diet, you've got the carbs where you can only eat them for a certain hour of the day, and it's got to be the same hour every single day, and then you can eat all the carbs that you want because your liver can only process so much, and then it pushes it all through. I don't have the dedication to do that.
I've never done a diet.
I get kind of brought into one with my parents. Like, we kind of took meat out of the equation for a long time, which I love steak. So that was really hard. But I've done something like that, or we did like a little diet that, no, I don't even know the name of it. I mean, it's not like a mainstream one or anything like that. But it worked pretty well. But it was just healthy food groups and nice sized portions.
Have you heard of the syrup diet?
No.
The who? The syrup diet. It's Yacon syrup. Dr. Oz recently did a segment which, okay, so this is from Peru, Bolivia, and Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
People tout Yacon syrup as a low-calorie, low-sugar food that helps with diabetes, digestive disorders, and kidney problems. The idea is that since this low-calorie, 20 calories per tablespoon syrup, is high in prebiotics, included some other stuff that I can't even pronounce, basically this naturally occurring sugar, the way that they described it is that it fills you up, and the problem is that there's definitely some side effects, some intestinal issues that you might have, some bloating. You know, Dr. Oz came out and touts it as a kind of a solution, so people do it.
Do we know the difference between it and like normal syrup? Like,
it kind of looks like normal syrup.
Okay.
And you would take a teaspoon of this, and then you'd put it in a cup. A cup of water, and you're supposed to have it before meals. No more than 1 tablespoon total consumed each day, as it can lead to bloating, nausea, diarrhea. If you're pregnant or nursing or have allergies or medicinal concerns, always consult with a doctor before adding anything new, such as Yacon syrup.
It's just syrup. I can't believe that syrup, a little bit of syrup, is going to have that many side effects. I feel that that's the problem right there.
I'll just stay with steak.
Yeah, I don't even like Dr. Oz.
Well, apparently, could you play this clip for us? So apparently it's not about diet.
Whatever you expect is what happens. In other words, expectation is a very powerful word. And of course, like every word, people mean different things sometimes when they use the same word. But your expectation is a sort of merging of what you desire or what you think about and what you really believe about it. So it was actually a trick question in that, are you getting what you expect? Because the answer to that is always yes. It's not possible to ever get something outside of your expectation. So the key to getting something different is to think about what it is you're wanting and think about what you're getting and try to spend a little more time thinking about what you want and a little less time about what is.
Okay, so the whole concept of this diet is if you expect it to be good for your body, it is?
Yes. So
awesome.
This is okay. So that was just a short clip of this
What
15.
the heck? What the heck?
Okay, so that was just a short clip of this 15-minute video, which a friend shared with me, and I said, okay, you realize that this is, in my opinion, batshit crazy.
Have you looked at her website at all? Her website, she's like got her hand in every pot, like getting into the vortex, which has to do with science and black holes and stuff.
Okay, but let's just stay on this topic.
Sorry, it's just okay.
Okay, so this is Abraham Hicks, who apparently this is a woman who's channeling somebody else.
Sorry, I gotta pause for a second. We got our caller in.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right.
Christina?
Good morning.
Dave, are you there?
Yes, can you hear us?
Dave?
So we have do we have Dave and Paul from Restless Heart?
Hang on just a second. Dave, are you there? Yeah, I'm here.
There we go.
Okay, we've got everybody. We have everybody on the line.
We're here.
Awesome.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that you are on tour right now. We have on the line with us Dave and Paul, two of the members from Restless Heart Band. Some of you might remember this song. Blast from the 80s. I love that song. My fiance and I met the same year that song came out. Well, we want to thank both of you. Thank all of you for letting us use the song "Home," which was played along with your lovely message at the Memorial Day ride.
Excellent. How did that go? Did you get a lot of people show up?
We did. We had almost 100 riders, and I have to tell you that once we got to the end spot, I was speaking with a former military person who was there, and he had said to me that while that song was playing, he's like, you know, I'm looking around at everybody, and all I could do was reflect with, you know, my comrades, my unit, you know, the soldiers, what we'd been through. And he said, and I'm looking around the room, and it's like everybody's doing the same thing. So it was a very, very touching part of the ride, and it really meant a lot to us, and I think everybody that was there.
Yeah.
Well, we're real happy to be able to have contributed to the event.
Well, and I know that you're on tour right now. Where are you at physically right now?
Well, we're kind of we're hanging loose for a couple, 3 or 4 days. We leave Wednesday to get back out on the road and get it hard, but we've kind of had a little bit of time off here, so we're enjoying that at this point.
Okay, and Dave is vocals and keyboard, and Paul plays bass guitar and lead vocals, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
I love the video.
Paul came to me, I don't know, how many years ago was it that we wrote the song Home, Paul? About 5. I know, you know, we had done a couple of world military tours and visited with military families all over the world. We've been extensively in Germany, of course, Ramstein and some of the other bases, Baumholder, Spangdahlem. But we also went to many other countries. We were at a base in UK. We went to South Korea, to an air base there. We went to several bases in Japan and one in Okinawa. Where else did we go? Let's see, we were in Turkey. We went to Iraq. And every place we went, we were so inspired by the stories of the men and women that we met that were serving our country. That Paul just, at some point, he wrote a poem about it. Paul, you can tell the story. It's a pretty moving story. I was fortunate enough that Paul approached me after he had this poem written, and he said, Dave, I want to put this to music. So that's where I came in. But the real brains behind the song Home is Paul, so I'm going to let him tell the story.
Thank you. We would love to hear the story about how the song was written.
Well, I guess it's been around 5 years ago or so, maybe even longer. I dated a girl when I was going to school in Oklahoma back in the 70s before I moved to Nashville, and she had a couple of kids, a girl and a boy, and the boy's name was Danny. And anyway, I moved to Nashville and got started in the music business, and it was several years here, and I lost touch with, her and her family and stuff, and but about, 5 years ago or so, I got a phone call from her son, Danny, and he was he was a sergeant. In fact, come to find out, he was a sergeant in the National Guard and stationed in Iraq. And we talked for a long time. And when I got off the phone, after having that conversation with him, talking about his buddies, he was fixing to go back to his third tour. And you get off of a phone call after hearing stories about the fighting and the brotherhood and how the bond that gets developed between men and women that are fighting for their lives out there, and you can't help but come away from that with a sense of endearment. And so I decided at that point that I wasn't going to be able to get it out of my head until I did something like write about it. So I sat down with a pen and a piece of paper and I really kind of just held on to the pencil. The daggum song wrote itself. It was done in about 30 or 40 minutes. Anyway, it sat in a drawer for about 2 years after I wrote it. And Dave came over to the house one day and said, "Man, you need to write a song." I said, "Well, I got this thing that I wrote, and I'd love to see what kind of music you can come up with." And Dave just, the minute he read the lyrics, he started this, incredible music. I was just flabbergasted by, how quickly it all came to fruition. And so that's how the song, got written. So it was a pretty cool thing. I was delighted that we had the opportunity and the the ability to bring that song around.
And the video is so powerful. Now, I know that the video was created sometime later, and that those images were all just came in as a flood, and they were donated to you. Is that correct?
We had that's correct. We actually were hosting a benefit for the Nashville Rescue Mission several years back, and I actually talked to my sister-in-law, Erin Nethery, was working at an ad agency in Phoenix, and she said, "Hey, can we help you guys? We could get on board and maybe put together a media presentation that would go along with the song, and so you could perform the song." We were working with the Nashville Symphony. at their concert hall here in Nashville, and they have a media screen, big giant media screen that behind the symphony. So that's how initially the video images were created. But then actually Aaron had the idea to start a website called the Restless Heart Home Project, and we just asked men and women and their families, military families from all over the world, to send in photographs from their personal experience. And so that just started flooding in. And so we sort of combined all of that, sort of picked some very poignant photos and put them together in a montage that we used for the song.
It's perfect. You know, as you listen to the song and you watch the images, it's so powerful. The music, the words, the imagery. It's just, I think, unless you don't have a heart, you're not moved by it. I mean, it's so powerful.
Yeah, there's no way to not be touched by the lyrics alone, but when you do put the pictures in with it, it's quite overwhelming. I know Christina and I think were bawling during the presentation, but
and the way that it was presented at the ride, we had your beautiful message, your words to Vets on Media, and then we had the song, and then we followed it up with taps, and then we had Morgan Teresa sing the national anthem, and so it was just the way that it all came together was just. It was perfect. It was wonderful. So I really want to thank you for that. And I think it's incredible that you allow, the way that Erin explained it to me, she said that any group that is doing something that is righteous is able to use this video. So it really touched me that she saw us and what we were doing as something righteous. And so I want to thank you both for that.
Well, you're welcome. We're happy to be able to do that. We Dave and I both really felt that, you know, this song should be readily available to anybody that you know, wanted to hear it and you know, let those who have ears hear, you know.
Right.
And a couple of other things. We put this song up on we got a YouTube website, and it's called Restless Heart Home Project. And if anybody out there that's listening wants to hear the song or see the slideshow, the pictures that are on during the playing of the song, they can go to that They can go to that YouTube site, Restless Heart Home Project, and they can see it. There's also on that website some organizations listed similar to the Wounded Warriors Foundation that people can go to and if they're so led, and donate money to help some of the veterans that are in this country. And Dave talked about this the charity that we have been doing here in Nashville with the Nashville Rescue Mission, and it's a homeless organization. They help the homeless, and it wasn't until we started doing that we were made aware that over 75, or the percentage may even be higher than that, of the homeless that are in this country are made up of veterans. And, you know, I just feel like, that, you know, that's unacceptable. And we wanted to try to do whatever we could to try to encourage people to, donate to some of these organizations that we listed on our website. You know, that we've got, as Dave talked about earlier, had these great opportunities to go out there and play for our men and women in uniform and do so much. But you know, we as a band have a pretty rich history that involves the U.S. military. Anyway, my dad he served in World War II. He was a corporal in the Army. Served over in the Hawaiian Islands and was a military police officer there, along with his other duties. And John Dietrich, our drummer, his grandfather is a Medal of Honor award winner. So, and to top it all off, our guitar player, Greg Jennings, his father was a sergeant in the Marine Corps that survived 4 beach landings. Most you can imagine, I can't remember all of them, but it was Kenny and Saipan and Iwo Jima, for crying out loud.
Wow.
His father was, like I said, a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and he was in charge of a machine gun squad. And I don't know if people are completely aware of the danger involved in that. The average life expectancy of a machine gun crew in World War II was 15 minutes.
Wow.
That's
Oh my
the
gosh.
average lifespan. And on Iwo Jima, it was about half that. And, to be able to have served in that type of capacity on 4 beach landings, I just find that astonishing. And he survived it and came back and had a splendid life here until he passed away about 10 years ago. I don't know that he was ever able to talk to Greg about his experiences while he was doing that, but anyway, those are the kinds of ties that we have to the U.S. military, and I feel that it's important that as a band, that we represent those folks, and that we continue to make sure that those people get acknowledged and are never forgotten. And the service that they provided for you and I, that be sitting here having this interview now, is paramount. And I just, I'm so happy at this particular point in juncture to be able to, and I know Dave feels this as well, to be able to give back some of that, and this is the only means that we have, is through our music, and I appreciate the fact that the No Limits organization and Vets on Media were, willing to be able to, pass our music along so that people could hear it, and that, that the message rings loud and clear in this country, that, we have not forgotten, and we appreciate, the veterans and the people that are serving now, and there's so many thousands that have given the ultimate sacrifice for this country that we need to be remembering, on special days in this country.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, it was an honor for us to be able to have it, and like I said, for me, it was the icing on the cake. At the point in the ride that came about, all of the setup, all of the production, all of the craziness was done, and there was this calm. And your words, just it was perfect. I'm at a loss for words right now, which doesn't happen quite often.
That never happens. Just let me correct her there. That never happens.
Well, it was very moving. It was really quite moving. I want to share with everyone the band website, which is restlessheartband.com. I know that you've got an event coming up June 11th. We have people that are listening all over, so if you go to their website and go to the news section, you can see things that are coming up. I hope that you're going to be coming to Arizona soon. Are there any tentative tour dates in the future for Arizona, maybe?
I don't see anything in Arizona.
No!
Dave, do we have anything pending? Wow. Let's see.
Nothing like putting you on the spot.
What you don't.
Arizona. I don't see anything in Arizona so far this summer, but we may add a day out that way. We're in Utah quite a bit. We're in Nevada.
So what I'm hearing is we need to do a road trip.
We're doing, this is kind of a change of subject, but we're doing 26 shows in Nashville, our Christmas shows that we put together this year, and we were going to take it out on tour, and then we ended up being hired to do 26 Christmas shows right here in Nashville. So that's something we're looking forward to. And the reason I brought that up is because as soon as you asked me that question, I pulled up our calendar looking for dates in Arizona. But I honestly, I don't see any in Arizona so far this year. But hopefully we'll get out to the Phoenix area. I know Paul, where was it? In Flagstaff, I believe, just outside of Flagstaff. We played last year, and we had a very good turnout. And
was it when it was 100 degrees in Phoenix? Because I got to tell you, come to Flagstaff when it's 100 degrees.
Yeah, you don't want to come here this summer anyway.
So it sounds like we might need to do a.
Rode out that way on his motorcycle a couple of years back. Paul's a Harley rider, so he got out that way, and he said it got pretty steamy.
Yeah, well, you know what would be really cool at the Memorial Day ride? Everybody asked afterwards. They said, "What are you going to do to top this?" And now that I know that Paul is a Harley rider, maybe we could twist your arm and get you to come out next year. Just let that sink in.
I almost came out this year.
Did you? Well, maybe that's.
Well, then we're gonna hold you to it. We'll see you next year.
And you got a vacation plan.
There you go.
Dave, I've got a question for you. As I was looking on the RestlessHeartBand.com site, I saw in your bio your musical influences are all groups whose name end with the letter S. And I found myself kind of going. I couldn't think of a single. So help me out here. What is it?
Well, Beatles, Eagles, and on. And I tell you what, that bio was written when I was in my early 20s, and at least that part of it was pulled from a bio from, right after we signed our record deal, and I was in my early 20s. So I'm not sure how much thought actually went into that. I will say this, it was kind of an interactive answer because it forces anybody that's reading and to go, bands that end in the letter S, and you can kind of use your own imagination. But I think I was just being silly at the time, to be honest with you.
Well, Christina couldn't think of any.
I will tell you who my musical influences were, and in the country field, it would have been Johnny Cash and George Jones and Willie Nelson, and there were a lot of them actually. Glenn Campbell was a huge influence on me, really, and some of those were, Glenn Campbell had huge crossover success. He had his own TV show, as did Johnny Cash, and I was also influenced by groups like the Beatles and the Eagles and the Bee Gees, and they all end in the letter S.
Thank you for.
At the time, I was kind of jealous because our name doesn't end with S, and I always thought, well, wouldn't it be easier to pronounce if it had been the Restless Hearts instead of Restless Heart? Because when we would do promos, we'd all have to get together and then count down and we go, "Hi, we're Restless Hearts." And I always thought it would have been easier if we could go, "We're the Restless Hearts."
Well, it's never too late to change anything, so.
It's never too late. Hey, Paul, can we change the band name? No, I'd like to put forth a petition that we add S to the end of our name.
I'll sign it for you.
I would say we strike hard and just start being called Restless.
Just call it Restless. We believe in no limits to anything. You know, there's no limitations.
I mean, our show ends in an S. So, you know, if you want to, you know, there you go. The heart, you got to add an S.
Yeah. No limits. Well, thank you both for joining us today, and thank you again for sharing the song and allowing us to use it. We really appreciate it. We are up against a break. This is No Limits Radio. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Would your goal be to get you and your family out of debt? I can show you how thousands of people and families are doing just that. This is a business plan made simple. We offer everything from weight loss products to green cleaning solutions. Get a full-time or part-time opportunity to become debt-free, or if you are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, call Jamie at 602-295-9969. That's 602-295-9969.
Breaker, 19. How about that bandit? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Do you need an extra push to start your day? Well, then tune in to Addie's Radio. Addie's Radio is a show that explores tough questions in an open and fun forum. The program also engages hard-hitting issues concerning veterans' physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. The show airs every Tuesday from 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Vets On Media Network. Addie's Radio is hosted by Jesse James, a combat veteran of Afghanistan, so he knows the problems that veterans face every day. Jesse provides you guidance each and every week to be a better you. So tune into yourself each week by tuning into Addie's Radio. Go to vetsonmedia.com for show details.
You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets On Media Network.
All right, we are back, and I just want to thank you again to Dave and Paul from Restless Heart.
It's Restless Hearts.
Restless Hearts. That's
Restless
right.
Hearts.
Restless Hearts.
Yes.
The website restlessheartband.com, and it was just such a wonderful experience to be able to use the song Home, which that video and the message that they shared with Vets On Media will be on the Vets On Media website.
And speaking of home and our military, a news article just came up that the only American soldier that's been held prisoner in Afghanistan has been freed and is back in U.S. custody. So the Taliban did turn over Sergeant, and I'm sorry if I get this name wrong, Sergeant Bowie Bergdahl,
okay,
in exchange for the release of 5 Afghan detainees. So he is right now still in Afghanistan, but will be coming back. But he is in U.S. custody. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So yeah, so that is wonderful, and welcome home to him.
That's wonderful. Did you hear about the ex-Marine that's been jailed in Mexico for accidentally making a wrong turn and driving into Mexico?
No, but how do you make a wrong turn and go into Mexico?
Okay, so he was...
that whole border thing.
Well, don't you see it? I mean,
Yeah.
there's
through Tijuana. He accidentally, I guess he got confused. It was late at night. He missed the exit. And as he was continuing, there was nowhere to turn around. And then he came across the border, and he was moving from Florida to San Diego, and he had guns in his car, legally owned guns. But when he went across the border, he then was he's been held. This happened at the beginning of April 1. He missed the last U.S. exit on April 1, forcing him to cross the border. Road closures because of checkpoints and construction added to the confusion, and there was no opportunity for drivers to turn around. The 25-year-old Afghanistan veteran was arrested by Mexican federal authorities on weapons charges and is being held at the La Mesa Penitentiary in Tijuana.
Oh, so that's why he's being held, because he had weapons.
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say, well, why is he being held? Why didn't he just turn back around when he...
Why is it that once he crossed the border and then realized and had that interaction with the Mexican authorities, he wasn't able to say, hey, full disclosure, I have weapons, I accidentally...
It doesn't work like that in Mexico.
That's just crazy.
There's some interesting
That's why I
stories
won't go
about
down
the
there.
Mexican police. Like, if you go to certain places in, like, Cancun and stuff, they'll just come up to you and be like, give me your ID. Just because, and they'll just take it from you. That's all they want.
The last time that I was in Mexico, it was with my ex-husband. We were going to Rocky Point. We had just...
That's the last time I was in Mexico, too, with my ex-husband. We should have met.
Bad omen.
Left him down there. Anyway, back to your story, sorry.
Yes, anyway, so we had just gotten down to Rocky Point, and we were stopped. He wasn't speeding. This was one occasion where he wasn't doing anything that I could really say, you're being a horrible driver, which there were a lot of those moments. But at any rate, he got pulled over. He got arrested. They wouldn't tell us what it was for. It was just, if you want to get him, you need to bring money to the jail.
Yep, that's how they do it. That's how they do it down there.
So it doesn't surprise me that once he was stopped, that they still have him in custody.
Well, hopefully they will. I know that we have some of our Secretary of State John Kerry is asking them to release. I know that a lot of our officials, some of our representatives are working behind the scenes, so hopefully that will get remedied very quickly.
Hey, real quick, and I know this wasn't on our plan to talk about, but what do you guys think is going on with these wrong way down the road hits that are? Is it 5 now?
I think we're at 7.
Right? It's a lot, either way.
It's too weird to be... There's got to be some type of connection between these. I just don't believe that in, 3 weeks?
Yes. You want to know what the connection is?
Do they know? Because
Alcohol.
I think there's got to be more.
Alcohol is the connection. It seems that what they're doing is they're going onto the freeway in the wrong way. And so let's say there are areas that you certainly could easily turn the wrong way and then end up on the freeway. What I'd like to see installed are those wrong way spikes in the road, because then that would stop it immediately. Obviously, that's going to be, when you're...
Okay, I do.
Okay.
But before 2 months ago, had you heard of a wrong way?
Not in Arizona, no.
Okay.
No.
And now in 3 weeks, we've had 7.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, there's some type of something going on. I just don't believe that it's 7 random people drunk going down the wrong way on the highway and smashing into another
car. It's
car.
kind of darn impressive you can do that. I mean, you got to get around a lot of cars a lot of times to go up the wrong way.
Okay, but see, you're looking at it the wrong way.
Oh, okay. I'm wrong.
Okay, so I don't think that how this is happening is that a person is driving onto the freeway and then turning the wrong way. I think what they're doing is, imagine you're driving down Southern and turning left instead of turning right.
Right, but I think what she's saying is, okay, if you're that drunk, it does take a lot to actually make it down that thing and actually hit another car instead of the center of a road or going off to the other side.
But look at the timing of the day that these all are happening. They're typically late at night, very, very early morning, so maybe there's not a lot of cars.
No, I think there's some other connection besides they're all drunk.
Aliens.
I was just going to say, what is it? Is it a conspiracy theory?
No,
I don't know.
like some
Aliens
type of
is-
a suicide pact, some type of a
That's an
something.
interesting idea. I don't know.
I just think
it
there's
is a little
something.
interesting, but
Well, and all of the drivers have been in their late 50s. I think one of the drivers was 68 and was a female. So
I don't know.
interesting.
Well, anyway.
a bunch of newly retired or getting close to retirement.
They don't want to go to the
It's
home.
a pact.
Don't send me to the home.
All right. Well, I know that Sam has a game for us today.
I had a couple of them. How familiar are you guys with the Game of Thrones?
Not at all.
Okay, then this will be interesting. All right, so I got a few facts and I got one lie. So here are my 3 facts. 150 babies were named Khaleesi, I can't remember how to spell her name, after one of the main characters in 2012. The book series.
Hold on. No cheating.
Yeah.
Put your laptop
Oh,
away. No cheating.
God, I thought that was in the rules
Yeah.
automatically.
I
Guess
know.
not. The book series was never finished because Martin, the author, died before completing the series. And it takes, the last fact is it takes $6 million to make each episode. What do you guys what am I lying about?
Okay, so all of those are false but one.
No, they're all real, but one. One's fake.
Isn't that what
Isn't
you just
that what
said?
I just said?
You're looking at it the wrong
Sorry.
way.
Sorry.
Wait, now I'm confused, Sam. One of those is an accurate statement.
One of those is fake.
Okay, so
Oh, only one is fake, not one is true.
Correct.
I think it's the 155.
Got 150 babies named after one of the main characters in 2012. $6 million to make each episode, or the book series was never completed because the author died before completing it.
Okay, so A is 150 babies were named
After a character. 6 million budget.
B was 6 million budget.
Yep.
And C, the
There's-
author died before it was finished.
There's no end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. Didn't they always say when confused go with B, or was it C?
I thought B was for bullshit, so maybe it's B.
I'm gonna say B.
I'm going with A.
Okay, so Michelle's going with 150 babies,
Yes.
and Christina, you went with which one? C? Or
No, she went with B.
B. Which wait?
The 6 million budget.
Oh
6
no,
million.
that's crazy. All right, I think he's dead.
The answer is the author is not dead. C is the lie. So 150 babies in 2012 are named after one of the main characters.
So I identified the lie.
Well, you said B. You said
I said I'm going with C.
Well, you said B first, and then you switched your answer to C.
But I think if we blow black. All right, next.
so. Yes, it does take $6 million to make one episode. It is one of the most expensive series out there, and of course HBO spares no expense for their TV shows, which is a lot of times why they're so popular.
I have never seen this show.
I haven't either, but I've heard it's wonderful. But, you know, it is summertime, so I do need to pick up a new show. But we had just finished House of Cards, and I'm very upset because I found out that season 3 has not even been started in production yet. So I'm really upset about that. But I know Sons of Anarchy is coming back on soon. So
Ugh, I have no desire to watch Sons of Anarchy.
why?
I just don't.
I just don't.
just
Well, that's
don't.
kind of how I am with Games of Thrones. I don't know
Yeah.
that I've heard it's good, but I don't know if I want it.
It's a serious production, but yeah, the author is still around. He's not dead, but he has told HBO the ending to his story in case he dies. He's 65 years old and he has some health problems, and he is worried that in case he doesn't make it to completing his books, he wants to make sure the series is finished correctly.
How many series have there been?
Oh, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I can't remember.
See, I feel like this is one of those that's been going on so long that it's like I'm so far behind the 8 ball.
That's why you have
to
Netflix.
get caught up.
That is.
But the only way to do that is to like just not have a life and just watch nonstop. And I've got too much stuff. Okay, do you have another one?
Yeah, the other person, the topic is Anthony Hopkins. I don't know how much you guys know about him.
All right.
I like Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. The A is he was born in Ireland. 2, he's composed a waltz. And 3, he only has 1 Oscar.
All right. I know that 2 is true. Okay.
I do know that 2 is true. That is correct.
So born in Ireland, and he only has 1 Oscar.
I think.
Don't cheat. Are you cheating there, Michelle?
Well, I was trying to, but it's pulling up like Carmela Anthony. How can anyway? I tried. I tried to cheat. I tried to cheat.
Wait a second. There's clacking over there. What's going on?
Okay, so it's Ireland.
Born in Ireland, composed a waltz, and he only has 1 Oscar.
Okay, so which one is false?
Which one is false?
Yep.
He was born in Ireland, or...
Well, I don't think he was born here. But I don't know that it was Ireland. He has more than one Oscar.
He has to have more than 1 Oscar. Okay.
But maybe he's just been nominated for a lot of them, and that's why we think it's more, but he hasn't really won them. So I'm going with wait, he only has 1 Oscar.
Born in Ireland, composed a waltz.
So you're saying that's
1 Oscar.
We are so blonde today. How can this game be so confusing to us? I'm like, wait, so if I think he has 1 Oscar, then that's not the one, because then that would be false. I'm going with
woman logic.
This is a left-handed quiz.
This is like when I went to when I used to always play the slots at the casino with my girlfriend. We always played the nickel slots. And then we went to Vegas once, and they had penny slots. Well, when we did the nickel slots, we knew like 2,000 credits. We knew how much money that was or whatever. We went to the penny slots, and I'm like, hey, I won 1,000. Now, what is that? Like, how much money is that? Like, we were literally sitting there dividing it, like, because we couldn't figure it out. Anyway, I'm going with Ireland is false.
Okay.
But I kind of think it's true. But that's what I'm going with.
I'm going with the 1 Oscar is false.
Michelle is correct.
Yes!
He was not born in Ireland. He was born in Wales. Hey, he was actually born right around where my family lives.
Okay. I didn't think it was Ireland.
He was born December 31st, 1937.
Wow.
So he's pretty old.
He's getting up there.
But, he's still got it, man.
How many Oscars was he nominated for?
He was nominated, Oscars, I think he was nominated in total for 6. He only won 1, which was Silence of the Lambs when he won Best Actor.
Wow. It's kind of hard to believe that he's only won 1, because like every movie I've seen him in, like he's good.
Stellar.
If you look at his nominations, he has 59 in total for different things, for different...
I loved him in Meet Joe Black.
I don't think I saw Meet Joe Black.
Really? Brad Pitt. Oh, it's a great movie.
And here's a little bit of his waltz, but it is so beautiful. He wrote it 50 years ago and didn't have a chance to ever have it played, and it was finally played in Italy, I believe, or Rome.
It's beautiful.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yep. Very nice.
If I only knew how to dance.
It's cool. Everybody.
You know what I learned at
sways
at the Memorial Day ride? I learned that Rob and I really need to take dance lessons before any wedding takes place because it was a hot mess.
So, Christina, what do we have next week?
We have more of this.
Awesome.
It's the WWW.
Always.
And we do have to talk about some gun control next week, because we did have a really, after the California shooting, I think it'll be interesting topics for everyone to call in and talk about this father. So.
Well, Richard Martinez is the father of the Santa Barbara shooting victim, Christopher Martinez. If you want to chime in on that conversation, definitely go to the Facebook page. We've shared his words of what he said to Congress or representatives when they reached out with their condolences. So we've shared his words and more about the story, and I know that you all have chimed in on this. Gun control is a big issue, and it seems that every time we have one of these shootings, people come out with this call of there needs to be more gun control, and my one thought on that, actually I have many thoughts, but one that I'm going to share with you is we already have laws in place. We have laws against murder. We have laws in place, and those laws aren't being followed. So I think there's a bigger solution here, and I look forward to having that conversation with you on the No Limits Radio Show page. This is Christina, No Limits Radio.
And I'm Michelle.
And that's Sam.
And we'll see you next week.
Oh, say, can you